everybody! Today's video I'm going to be showing you how I got this ripped off Masquerade Halloween makeup look. This is going to be my last Halloween makeup tutorial for this year, so I wanted it to be pretty simple but also bloody and gory. The only thing that I had to purchase for this makeup look that I did not already have was some lash adhesive and some fake blood. Let's get started. So this portion is going to be different for everybody, but I did want to sort of go over what I was doing. You can do any sort of makeup look you want, just make sure that you are fully covering your face. The first thing I used was this Physician Formula CC Concealer, and I used that as an eyeshadow base as well as to conceal my under eye circles. And then I set that with my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Transparent. And then for my foundation, I used the Physician Formula BB Powder and just put that all over my face for some good coverage. Even though half your face is going to be a mask, this just makes the process a whole lot easier. And then just for a little bit of definition on the sides of my face, I used my Benefit Hoola Bronzer and just buffed that into my cheekbones, a little bit on my forehead, and then under my jawline. For blush, I just used a NYX blush that was sort of a reddish pink tone. And then for my eyes, I used my Urban Decay Naked 3 palette. I just highlighted underneath my brow bone as well as in the inner corner. And then for my lid as well as my crease, I took the color Nooner and just patted that all over. This is going to make adding the darker color in my outer corner a little bit more blended as well. I'm not sure what this color is called, but it's the second to last in the palette. It's just a darker gray color. I just sort of patted that on the outer part and blended it a little bit into my crease. Nothing too crazy because I did just want to give it a little bit of definition. And then I took that same blending brush I used earlier, not adding any product, and just blended that out even further. And then I used my concealer just to sort of correct that and make the line a little bit sharper. You can also go ahead and do your eyes first before doing your face if you are afraid of any fallout. And I just took this NYX liquid eyeliner and just did a small wing on my eyes. And then I took some mascara by Maybelline and just did a coat of that on my upper and lower lashes. I tried to apply false lashes and it went horribly wrong, so just ignore how awful my lashes look. You can go ahead and apply falsies if you want. I am just awful at doing it and it bothers my eyes so bad. Then I just took Black Heart from the same palette and just put that on my lower lash line, avoiding my waterline because I did want my eyes to look a lot wider. And then I just took another mascara and applied that. I believe this is L'Oreal Telescopic, just to sort of separate my lashes even further. And then I took this CoverGirl liner, and I'm not quite sure what color it is. It is just a dark maroon, and I outlined my lips just to sort of give it an ombre effect for when I added the lipstick. I did overdraw my lips with the liner just a little bit to make them look a little bit more rounded and larger than my natural lip is. And then for lipstick, I used this Rimmel Cake Collection. It's just a brighter red, and put that all over my lips, blending in with the lip liner. And then I just outlined my lips one more time with the liner just to make sure that it was defined a little bit more on the outer portion of my lips. And then I used the same lip liner to outline where I wanted my mask to be. You don't have to do this step, but I just wanted to get a good idea of where I wanted to go with the mask on my face before I applied anything else. So I just sort of hollowed out my eye area, and I did go kind of back and forth on the shapes that I did. So this part you can do anything you want. I just wanted mine to be sort of rounded like a generic mask would be. You can go fancy with it, whatever you want to do. I just wanted to make it as simple as possible. And then I took my Coastal Scents 88 eyeshadow palette and went in with the red and black. I actually only used 3 colors from this palette, so if you just have red or black colors, go ahead and just use those, obviously. The first thing I did was laid out the red all throughout that mask, making sure to sort of blend the lip liner out a little bit. Like I said, the lip liner part is optional, but it did really help me in putting down the colors that I wanted. You want to lay the red down before the black, because if you lay the black down, it will be hard to overlay that red on top of it. Once you have the red complete, you can go ahead and use the black I just sort of started to smudge out the top portion. I ended up using a little bit too much, but it was fine in the end. You just want to make sure that you are making a dark red color. So I guess if you also have a dark red eyeshadow, go ahead and use that, but I did not, so I just went with what I had to make this a lot simpler for me. I outlined my eye area as well, and once everything was outlined, I started to blend the red and black shadow together even further. Like I said, you can go ahead and do whatever you want for this part. I was trying to make it look like it was starting to scab over, so that is why I decided to make it a darker color. Once you have that all blended out, you want to take the lash glue and start to put that into the mask area. I did small circles, leaving the red and black in between just to give it a little bit of texture. You want to let this fully dry before you mess with it, and it does take probably about 5 minutes, so you just want to make sure it's fully dry before you start to mess with it. And then you just want to push the product around, and this will create little holes and divots in that area, and that is going to make it look like scabs. I know it looks like I'm pulling hard, but it is actually not that bad. You just want to make sure that you are creating different shapes and textures because you do want it to look as realistic as possible, and this is the cheapest way I know how to do this. And once you have done that, you want to go ahead and put that black shadow in those holes because you want it to look like really dark blood in those areas. Once you have all the black laid out, you go ahead and add the fake blood. I did this in layers using a brush and just sort of patted in where that black eyeshadow was. I did go back and forth with the black eyeshadow and blood, and you can go ahead and layer as many times as you want. I wanted it to look like it was already starting to dry, so I did not do it too many times, but if you are wanting it to look a little bit more on the fresh side, go ahead and layer the blood quite a few times, more than I did, and it will look a little bit more of a bright red like you are seeing here. I know Halloween stores have different kinds of bloods. I just got mine from Walmart, and it is a vampire blood. It is quite bright red and thin, so if you have a Halloween store closer to you and you want a thicker blood, go ahead and check those out because I know there are definitely more options at an actual Halloween store. And here I am just going back in with the black eyeshadow just to darken up some of those spots like I said earlier that I was going to be doing. And then after I had all that a little bit darker, I went ahead and overlaid a little bit more blood. The blood I was using does look different once it dried, so you want to go ahead and make sure you're letting it dry in between so you can see what it is actually looking like. And then I took the red and black shadow and just put those both on this small detail brush and outlined the mask area once I had it where I wanted it to be. This is just going to help when I add blood on the outer edge so I know where to put it. Taking that same brush, I just started to put that blood on the outer edge. Not really overdoing it, I just sort of pushed it in and patted it in those areas just so it looked a little bit more irritated on that outer edge. And then I went back into the palette and took this purple shadow and put that on the outer portion to make it look a little bit bruised and irritated. If your skin was to actually be ripped off, it wouldn't just be the inner portion that had bruising and blood, it would also be the outer area on the skin as well. And once you are done with that, this look is complete. I hope it was easy for you guys to follow. If you haven't subscribed and want to see more videos from me, don't forget to do that. I hope you guys have a happy and safe Halloween, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.